Let me ask you something. What comes to mind when you hear the phrase new covenant? For many Jewish people, it sounds like something foreign, something meant only for Gentiles. But here's the biblical reality. The new covenant was first and foremost promised to the Jewish people. Yes, it's for Israel and Judah. It's our covenant. It's the very heart of Jeremiah's prophecy, and it's deeply personal for us as Jewish people. Jeremiah 31, beginning in verse 31, says, "See, a time is coming, declares the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. It will not be like the covenant I made with their fathers when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, a covenant which they broke, though I espoused them, declares the Lord." He goes on, he says, "But such is the covenant I will make with the house of Israel after these days. I will put my teaching into their inmost being and inscribe it upon their hearts. Then I will be their God and they will be my people." Right? These words aren't vague or open to interpretation. God is explicitly speaking to his chosen people, promising something transformative, a new covenant for Israel and Judah, a covenant unlike the one made at Sinai. Notice how specific this is. God is speaking directly to his chosen people, declaring that this covenant is with us. Again, it's not like the covenant he made with our ancestors at Sinai. Why? This is because we broke that covenant over and over again. We strayed from God's ways. But instead of him turning away from us, God chose to restore us. Instead, this is a covenant of restoration where God says, "I will put my Torah, my law within them. Yes, I will write it on their heart." Here's the reality. Look, all of us have time after time failed to live up to the Sinai covenant. Of course, with the temple having been destroyed in the year 70 BCE, along with the sacrificial system, it is literally impossible to fully keep the Torah. But when the Lord spoke of a new covenant through Jeremiah, the temple was still standing. And still, with the temple standing, the Lord spoke of a new covenant he was making. It wasn't that the covenant itself was flawed. The flaw was in us. We broke it over and over again. But God, in his love, in his faithfulness and graciousness, didn't abandon us. He didn't write us off. Instead, he promised something greater, a covenant that would transform us from the inside out. This is where Yeshua comes in. At his final Passover meal, he held up the cup and he said, "This is my blood, the blood of the new covenant, which is poured out for many for the removal of sins." Yeshua's sacrifice is the heart of the new covenant. He took the Torah, which was external, and through his Spirit, he writes it on our hearts. His Spirit dwells within us, making us new, empowering us to live for him. And here's the thing that's often misunderstood. Look, the new covenant doesn't replace the Jewish people. It restores us. It fulfills the promises God made to Israel and Judah. Yes, it extends to the nations, but it began with God's Jewish people. We're not forgotten. God's love for his people is everlasting. So what does that mean for you and me today? It means the door is open. The new covenant is not a rejection of our heritage. It's the completion of it. If you've ever believed Yeshua isn't for you, I encourage you to reconsider. Ask God to show you the truth of Jeremiah's words. Let him reveal how Yeshua fulfills the promises of this new covenant. Open your heart and let him write his Torah within you. This is our inheritance, our hope, our future. The new covenant is our inheritance, and it's time, O Israel, that we embrace it. Let God transform your heart and your life today through his Messiah Yeshua. Let him write his love, his new covenant, his word on your heart.